All right. Thanks to everyone who has already tuned in. We've got 61 people in the room so far. Thank you for tuning into this Kanonkop House webinar this morning and giving up your valuable time. I'd like to start off by just introducing the panelists and who we have here. We've got Mark and Adele Conyers in the bottom. In my view, it's the bottom of the three computer screens. They are the owners of Kanonkop House. So thanks very much to Mark and Adele for giving up your time to update us on Kanonkop and the trade. And then we also have Rogan Bartman, who is the general manager of my company. So Rogan's going to be helping me with technical aspects of this webinar today and reminding me to do things if I forget. He'll also be monitoring the Q&A. So this is very important for everyone in the room. Please try and avoid using the chat and also raising hands. We probably, if you want to pose a question to Mark and Adele, we will be monitoring, Rogan will be monitoring the Q&A. Post your questions in the Q&A, and at a suitable time where Mark has taken a gap between his next slide, we will bring your questions into the panel, and Rogan will bring that in, and Mark and Adele will do their best to answer those questions for you. And then lastly, we will send off a follow-up email post this webinar, probably sometime mid-afternoon today, with all of the collateral, marketing and sales collateral, like the images that you're going to see in this presentation, as well as the videos for you to be able to utilize in your marketing and sales channels. And Rogan is also busy as we speak with the Kanonkop House 2021 race, which have been finalized, and we've got the go ahead to send off. At the same time that we send those off, it might be later this afternoon, it might be tomorrow morning, we will send you the SADC rate sheets, which will be applicable for your company at the same time. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Mark and Adele Conyers. Yeah, guys, tell us about your product.
Yeah, thanks, Andy, Rogan, and everyone else that has joined in. It's been a tough year, we all know that, but we've taken the opportunity to try and do a few thinking out of the box and trying to improve what we have to offer. So it's yeah, strange times, but I think we're definitely still here, and we're definitely still going to be here. And I hope that when we come out of this, the thought processes that we've done out, that we've come out with, that are going to have an improved product and an improved offering to offer your guests and to offer the world when they travel again. So Kanonkop House, it's a special little gem. It's owner run. Adele and I are there every day, except when we're on holiday, like now, sitting in Johannesburg. But it's a little gem in Knysna, and it's something that's really close to our heart. We've spent 18, 19 years putting it all together, and really is our heart and soul. And we love to share it. And recently, again, I think this is our 4th year going, that we were voted in the top 25 best small hotels in Africa, and we're super proud of that. We came with a tiny imagination 20 years ago, and we've formed a beautiful little piece of heaven in Knysna. So we're going to tell you a lot about who we are and about a lot of what we can offer, and a lot about the area, to try and give you knowledge of how to sell our area. Garden routes, people think it's far out. It's not necessarily on the route, on the normal route, on the normal itinerary, but it really is a gem of an area, and we're going to try to help you gather ways to try and sell the area as well. So I think the next slide is actually a video. Andrew's going to play that video, and then we can talk a little bit about what we can offer. Enjoy.
going to give Mark Conyers control now, so he can take control of this presentation. Mark, you have control.
I'm glad you say I've got control, because in my life I don't normally have control. It's normally that Adele that has the control. Yeah, so this first slide is a slide of one of our garden suites. And before we actually even get into that, it's quite important to realize, although we are sort of in the top boutique hotels in the country, we have 3 different categories of room. And we're going to start with our garden suites, which is really beautiful, recently upgraded suites, and really priced on an affordable scale. So the people that can't necessarily afford the 5-star luxury, we still have an option for them in these 2 suites. So beautifully designed, lots of room, opening out onto a big deck overlooking the pool and the garden. Yeah.
Are you battling with control, Mark?
These were redone after the 2017 fire. So basically brand new rooms, with all the mod cons that you can really expect from a 5-star hotel. And I can't.
Click on the screen, Mark. It says it's waiting for you to take control. There we go. Now press your right arrow. There'll be a little bit of a delay.
Having control.
Yeah, I told you, my wife is the one that's in control. Right,
As it should be.
It should come through.
Yeah, it will come through now. You are in control now. It's just going to be a little bit of a delay till the next slide.
All right, so it's quite important to, as we go through these different slides, to understand that we have an option. Maybe someone who's blown their budget on a big 5 safari, there is an option up the garden route in our garden suites.
Did you press the right arrow, Mark?
Yeah, I've pressed it several times.
Okay.
Try again.
Should I take back control and just run through them with you?
We've got control.
We definitely have control.
We control them, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry about this glitch. Sometimes technology lets us down. Mark, should I take back control?
Just try one more time. Does it tell you that I've got control?
It says you are controlling the screen, but now it's moved.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so we chatted about that. So those are 2 garden suites. As I said, everything that you can imagine.
They're also quite nice if you've got 2 couples traveling together, because the rooms are very similar. Because as women, we know that you get to a guest house and you think, oh, am I going to get the best room? That kind of look. And these are very similar, which is lovely for 2 couples together. The balcony, the deck at the other outside is quite good, because you can sit together, look over the pool, and sort of still be a unit, but still have your own privacy.
So in the main annex of the building, we've got our 3 executive suites. So we've got 2 garden suites, and then we've got our 3 executive lagoon-facing suites. This is our Paradise Suite. Again, totally overhauled after the fires in 2017. It was voted as the best room in Knysna. We honestly think we have way better rooms than that now since our refurbishment and since our addition of more rooms. But again, it's all about these, about the views, Juliet balconies. Yeah, I mean, the views, when we talk about views, guys, no power lines, no rooftops in front of us, just our private indigenous forest going all the way down to the road. So no other false lights. It's really a spectacular view. And going down one level, so lying in your bath, I mean, the same type of views in your bathroom. Then going down one level, again, same category of room, our Sunbird Suite. A lot of suedes and silks, individual artwork, individual antiques that we've collected over the years that we've incorporated into the rooms. Lounge sitting areas in all the different rooms, desks, big balconies again. all private entrances, private spaces, so you can actually escape other guests if you need to. Then a really interesting room. Do you want to chat about Forest?
No, you can look at that.
Forest, yeah, it's a really, really unique room. It's a lot of you guys that are selling Kanonkop love this room. It's a unique room. We've tried to capture our forest and bring it into the room, and kept the theme right throughout the house, so right throughout the room. So when you're lying in your bath, you look into your private fern forest, and often guests come up in the morning and sit at breakfast and say, "Gee whiz, we had bushbuck drinking out of the little water hole right outside our bathroom." So it really is a special room, but you still have this beautiful view looking out onto the water from your deck onto the water. We cut the indigenous forest. We cut the tops of the trees away every August to keep the view from the deck in the room.
Okay, now this is my favorite room. This is the Diamond Suite. It's the first one of our penthouse suites. It's on the ground floor. It's got its own huge big lounge area, which has a huge window, which gives you the whole view. It's an inside-outside kind of bathroom, so you can open it up onto the decks. You've got 2 private decks of your own.
Yeah, it's again, this is a 100 square meter room. The bedroom is shuttered off from the lounge area by American wooden shutters. Everything is opening out onto, as Adele said, your two private balconies and decks. You got your own waterfall feature. Again, spectacular views over the water. Your inside-outside bathroom, so you can be inside, you can be outside, you can close it off, you can open it up. Total privacy.
It's a perfect honeymoon kind of suite, because when you go on honeymoon, you don't always want to mix with everybody else. Here, you can also have breakfast on your own deck. You can tan on your own deck. You don't have to go to the pool area where everybody else is if you don't want to. And you've got a whole lounge to yourself, not just the seating area.
Not to mention a dual shower, which you could probably put a bed in, and that huge.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got a question from Alejandra. She's asking, how is the noise level from the N2?
Okay, that's a brilliant question, and it was certainly a problem 15, 16, 17 years ago. The forest was not as tall and substantial as it is now. We have a policy that we decided to do probably 15 years ago and take out every single exotic tree on the property and replace it with indigenous trees from our area. And though the trees and the natural sort of block that trees have formed is blocking the majority of the noise. So there are properties that I know of that do have complaints with regards to the noise from the N2. But I cannot remember in the last 5 or 6 years it ever been raised to us. So the noise from the N2 is absolutely, there's nothing that you even have to worry about. You can't see the road. They also redid the road a couple of years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, and put sleeping tar in our area. So yeah, it's non-existent. You don't have to worry about that. But it's an excellent question.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark.
And then above the diamond suite is what we call our second penthouse suite. Just remember, Adele did mention it. Out of our 2 penthouse suites, one is actually on the ground floor. Although we call it a penthouse suite, historically you would imagine a penthouse suite being right at the top. This is on the top, but our diamond suite is on a ground level. So just remember that. It's never been raised before, but we just want to make sure that you are conscious of that point. So again, this room, it's 120 square meters, 2 private balconies. We have often families of 4 staying in here. We put in 2 extra beds in here.
This room is all about drama. Everything is sort of slightly over the top. Lots of little lights, lots of different textures. It's all about almost like being in the theater when you walk in there.
Yeah, again, I love it when people check into this room. It's normally a room that I like to do the check-in. And we've had guests bursting into tears when they've walked into this room. It's just the absolute wow factor suite. I don't think there's better rooms in the garden route than this. It's just, again, it's got everything that you need, everything that you want. A lot of our guests say it's bigger than the whole apartment from when they're coming from Germany and Sweden and Switzerland and all those places. You know, it's really a stunning suite. So it can be paired up with any guest traveling in this country, to the St. Gitas, to the Bellinis, the Cape Grace, the one and onlys. They could be staying in a room like this, and there would be absolutely no issues.
Mark, before you move on, can you touch on the second bedroom and how it can possibly be used?
Yeah, okay. So upstairs, alongside the penthouse suite, across the passage and across the staircase, is another bedroom. It's not sold to you guys on the rate sheet. It's not advertised on our website, but there is a second bedroom. And that bedroom is got dual use for us. It's actually doubles up as our therapy room. We'll touch on our therapy in a few minutes. But it works spectacularly well if someone's traveling with another child or a third person. We can put them in there. It's a ensuite bedroom with a shower, but it doesn't have any views of the water. So we charge a very small nominal rate. We also put guides in there, so we can do your guides if the guests are traveling with guides. And a really nice option, a cheap, good option for a third person traveling. Yeah, so that's a photo of our common area. A lot of coming home at sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening when guests are coming out from their activities. This is a really hive of people around this area. Our massage therapist is often at the pool doing, head massages and foot massages around the pool. Rico is serving boutique gin and tonics. Afternoon high tea is often taken in this area. So it's a really busy, big pool. So lots of space. About 4 or 5 years ago, we realized, Andrew and I and Adele sat together and we tried to find out where our strengths and our weaknesses were. And we really did find that our weakness was that we didn't have great common areas in bad weather for people to sit together. If it was bad, you had to be in your room or you had to be in the bar. So we redesigned the house a little bit and made some beautiful, beautiful common areas. So there are now 4 different seating areas, inside and outside areas around Kanonkop, where you can go snug up. This is our library, casual lounge. There's a TV on the left-hand side where you can gather and watch sporting competitions, Rugby World Cup, etc. The Lions Tour, guys, is coming very, very soon. This would be a really great area for the guys on the Lions Tour to be meeting together. Borders onto our bar area, so a really nice social sort of spot.
Mark, I've got another question that's come through. Samuel's just asking, how strict are your terms, your T&Cs on kids under 8?
Okay, so at the moment we're accepting donkeys, giraffes, squirrels, anything children. With COVID, we're really not. We haven't put our policy of children in place at the moment, but under normal circumstances, we have a policy of no under 8s, and that's just for the reason when you guests are around the pool and there's afternoon high tea, you don't necessarily want to be sipping your gin and tonic and getting a scalp rub, and kids running around doing bombs in the pool. Kids, we believe we have 2. they should be allowed to be kids. But this is not necessarily the correct property for a 4 and a 5-year-old to be running around. It's also got high balconies. It's got an unfenced forest. So yeah, it's really more of a place where you can find your peace and tranquility rather than having kids of 5 and 6 running around.
Great, thanks.
Can I answer that, Rogan?
Perfect.
So this takes us into the house, back into our bar area. Adele's favorite place in the house, the bar. So yeah, Rico is our specialist. You're going to see him in a second or two. He's our specialist boutique gym maker, and yeah, it was actually brilliant. A couple of years ago, we got Adele and I wanted to do something really quite special, and we toured around the Western Cape, and we went and found all the Western Cape boutique gyms that we really enjoyed, and we brought them back, and we got a whole lot of friends together, and we did a big cocktail evening, and we picked the 10 best gyms and 10 best cocktails, and so that's really our signature, our boutique gym bar that Rico seems to get right every single time. That's Rico. He's my senior assistant. He's my right hand. He's going to be looking after the guests around the bar, serving. You know, we've had to restructure the way we think with regards to high tea and breakfast, but how we're going to serve it, and how under the circumstances of COVID, how do we get people to communicate and be, because we really are a company, a team that relies on being personal. We're not necessarily guys that arrive and here's your key and enjoy your stay. We want to keep that personal touch, and we've had to learn how to do it in a different way with regards to COVID. So we think we're getting it right. We still are experimenting on a whole lot of different ways how to get that personal interaction right without stepping on people's toes, anxious people's toes. So the bar area is still a very popular place, somewhere where we congregate and we talk to guests, and yeah. That's Zandi.
This is more my favorite place. The massage lady. She is the nicest, most friendly, wonderful woman you could ever meet. She's always got bright red lips with this huge smile. She's welcoming, and she has the most amazing hands when it comes to doing the massage. She can be on massage number 5, and you would think it was the first one of her day. She has got strong, wonderful hands, and you feel so relaxed and lovely when she's finished. She does the hot stone massage. She does a normal sports massage. She does manis and pedis. Around the pool area, she'll do a light scalp massage for you. And she's just always wonderful. By the time you finish with her, you are relaxed and you just feel fantastic. She can do it inside your room. This is on the diamond balcony, so you can have your own private outside air kind of massage inside your room, or in the room off the Selwyn area, like Mark was saying, that we doubled it up as a spa room and guide or teenage person kind of room. But she is absolutely fantastic.
So that's Kanonkop House in a nutshell. So 7 suites, 2 garden suites, priced really well for you guys. When Rogan does send through those rates later, have a look at them. Those garden suites are priced at a 4-star level, but offer everything that you would expect at a 5-star level. And going up to the Penta suites, where you could be very happy to put any client traveling to this country. So that's Kanonkop House. We're there every day. We are hosting there. We're very active there. As I talked a little bit about the personal touch, 24-hour concierge there. So guests want nothing. And then separately to that, we have a lovely little side business where we have this beautiful summer-styled villa on Knysna Island, which is on the river, on the canals of Knysna Island. And it's really Adele's project. It's a fantastic side business where you take the whole property on your own. So great for small groups traveling together, a family, someone who wants to be self-sufficient or not self-sufficient. We can still do everything that you need to, from breakfasts, concierge, booking everything for you. But essentially, you take the whole place for yourself, but are still looked after by us. So a really wonderful little property, 4 ensuite bedrooms, can sleep 8, but not. We're not recommending that you put 8 people in there all the time.
It's more of an apartment style kind of house, so it's long and narrow. So if you have 8 big grown-ups, it is quite tight if your weather's not brilliant. We've had 2 golfing couples, that kind of idea, and then we'll tailor make your holiday for you. So if they want full 5-star breakfasts, the whole works, we come in, they just tell us what time, we fully stock the fridges, we lay out breakfast either outside or inside depending on the weather. We've done braais for people, and the women always roll their eyes and say, please, won't you braai for us? Because the men always think they can braai. And then we'll either buy all we'll either buy all your stuff in and stock it in your fridge for you, your meats, your salads, any of your side dishes if you want to do a braai, or Rico will come in and braai for you. So it really depends on what your client wants. If they want to do breakfast and then be left alone for the rest of the day on their own, we do that. If they want us to come in the evenings and do a dinner for them, we'll do that. He comes in and does the.
We've lost you, Mark and Adele.
Like to have bookie at 10 o'clock, and then we will drop your order. Am I gone?
Yeah, you're back. Carry on.
Sorry. So it really depends on the client of what you would like. The nice thing about this house is that you can walk to the waterfront. You can walk to Knysna Island. There's a wonderful bakery, literally 5 minutes from the house, which has got world reviews. There's little boutique shops. There's the waterfront for all the different restaurants. It's safe. You're in an enclosed area. You've got to use biometrics to get in and out. So when we check you in, we take you there. They check your fingerprint out, and then you can come in and out on your own after that. So you're 100% safe. We do take children at this place, but we do like you to be aware of the fact that it's right on the water. So people must be aware that if you've got a 2-year-old who can't swim yet, they're going to have to be aware of their kids. On the island, there's also some nice play areas if you've got children. I know when we travel and it gets to 3 o'clock and you're exhausted and you've come back from your entertainment, you've still got to entertain children. They're not tired at 3 o'clock. So it's quite nice. You can walk around the island, find the play area, sit, watch your kids on the jungle gym. I know as a mother I like to have play areas.
Yeah, so also Adele said we can tailor make it for whatever use you want. If you've got kids and you want them babysat, we'll even organize our staff to do babysitting. So it really is a fantastic product. It's also priced very reasonably. So just consider that if you've got some families or 2 couples traveling together that might be on a slightly limited budget, this is also a fantastic option. You guys are probably thinking, is it still available for Christmas, New Year? It's before you send in those gazillion inquiries, it's already taken for that period. But yeah, it is a fantastic option. There's lots of availability for early next year. So think about that, especially your South Africans traveling and they're wanting a little bit more than just a self-catering Airbnb. This is the proper spot.
Mark, do you want to touch on the pricing, how it works?
So our pricing here is a price with full concierge, breakfasts, all housekeeping is included. And then depending on what they want, we just up it or down it. But we have one static price that includes us with the concierge, helping with booking activities, getting them around, taxis, organizing taxis, restaurants, a full housekeeping service, daily, weekends, every day, and breakfast is included, and limited drinks. So we say wine, beer, and soft drinks, waters and soft drinks, but no spirits. obviously at Kanonkop, everything is included, the bar is included. It's quite important to actually, a lot of people don't realize that when they arrive, but it's quite a unique selling point that you do not have to pay a lift your card at Kanonkop. Everything is included in the bar. And it's a really nice sort of value add selling point. So our next slide is actually an activity video. It's a very short video about our area and about what there is to see and do in our area. Maybe Andrew can.
I'm going to take back control. There might be a small delay here.
And then after that, we're going to chat about our area. And if there's any, this is like a seriously important time. Guys, we have been here in this area for 20 years. If you don't understand something about how to sell the area or what to do or the distances, then just please, Rogan's there, just send him a quick question and let me try and help you. And we totally understand. If you don't know how to sell the area, how on earth are you going to be able to get them to Kanonkop? So after this video, we'll just run through a couple of things about what to do and see in the area and where exactly, how to get to us. And then if there's any question, this would be a great time.
Okay, I'm going to start the video now. Right.
So,
Oh,
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, as you probably see on that, there's a plethora of things to do to keep you as busy as you want to be, or to be as quiet and tranquil as you want to be. Stunning blue flag beaches, some of the most beautiful forests. We've got a 64,000 hectare indigenous forest, voted in the 4th best forests in the world, managed forests in the world. So really spectacular forest, gorgeous. You know, and Knysna's famous for its lagoon and activities, water activities. We have some beautiful companies that take you sailing out through the heads, out to sea. You know, some of you might not know, but our area is actually one of the best areas in the world to view the whales. You guys will probably think Hermanus and all those places. We're as good as Hermanus. We don't have as good as land-based whale watching, but the whale watching in our area is as good. So if you're looking to snatch up a couple of extra days, you can leave Hermanus out of our itinerary and send them to us for 1 or 2 more days.
So just let me clarify there, boat-based whale watching, eh?
Boat-based.
Yeah, boat-based whale watching. So that actually brings me to another point. Plettenberg Bay is not far from us. It's only 30-minute drive from us. There is a spectacular peninsula called Robert Peninsula, and we often talk about the fact that when you're walking on that peninsula, the white shark viewing from that peninsula is second to none. National Geographic were there recently, did a documentary on the white sharks that you can see in that area. In fact, I got sent a WhatsApp a couple of days ago of a white shark hunting seals below the ledge, and an elephant seal coming in and chasing the white sharks away. It was absolutely spectacular footage. And you're probably seeing them 8 out of 10 times when you walk on that peninsula at this time of the year. So the white shark based land viewing there is spectacular. Golfing in our area, it's something that we specialize in. We have in Knysna, we've got Zula and Samola championship golf courses. In fact, Jack Nicholas stayed with us when he was designing Samola. And we do it at discounted rates. We organize all the carts, all the tee-off times, all the halfway meals, and we do it at a rate that you guys can't get that rate. So you can pass in a greatly reduced discounted golf rate, and we'll do all the work for you. We'll do all the bookings, do all the vouchers and everything for you guys too. So there's beautiful sunset sailing. We're famous for oysters in that area, beautiful blue flag beaches, hiking in the forests. And then close by, we've got a plethora of wildlife sanctuaries. So we saw it briefly in the video. There's elephants, there's monkeys, there's birds. Again, so enough to keep you busy.
Wow, that's gone.
Yeah, but there's a new cat sanctuary that's popped up. And then something that I haven't done, but has just recently opened after the COVID, is I'm led to believe, I haven't done it yet, is one of the longest zip lines in Africa or in Southern Africa. I'm not 100% sure, or in the Southern Hemisphere. So I know it's something major on our doorstep. It goes over gorges and kranzes over 200 meters high at like these fantastic zip lining speeds. So it's something that I'll go and try and check out. And yeah, for those adrenaline junkies, paragliding, parachuting, all those things right on your doorstep.
Bungee jumping.
Yeah, the world's highest bungee jump with low krantz. So
Mark, can you touch on the beaches that are in close proximity to Kanonkop House? Because the trade obviously sells plet. I mean, plet is a staple generally in the garden route a lot of the time, and it's because they're wanting to give guests a beach, beach stop as part of their overall itinerary. It's their one kind of opportunity to have a beach stop. You've got Cape Town, and then you've got Safari, and Plet is generally your beach stop. But other than beach, I mean, Plet is a lovely town, but other than beach, you guys have got some amazing beaches on your doorstep in Knysna that people don't often think about. But in addition to the beaches, you've got the estuary and the forests and everything else that Plet doesn't have. So it's almost a no-brainer to look at Knysna rather than Plet, in my opinion, and I might be biased. But ultimately, I think touch on the beaches and the proximity of the beaches and educate everyone that's listening today as to what beaches you've got. And, you've touched on everything else, which Plet doesn't really have on their doorstep other than coming to Knysna. But you touch on the beaches in proximity to you, please, and the names of the beaches and where they're at.
Yeah, Andrew, it's a really good point. It does come up in a lot of our sales calls that, Plet is fantastic. Knysna is fantastic. We honestly believe that Knysna has a lot more to offer sort of an opulent guest that's going to be staying at a place like Kanonkop. So the beaches, Knysna is built on the estuary. It looks onto the estuary. The estuary is changing all the time. That with the tidal flow that comes in, there's a 2-meter tide difference. So the view from Kanonkop and down onto the lagoon is changing every 6 hours. There's banks appearing, channels appearing. Then this vast sort of lake system is covered with water. You're seeing people boating, pumping prawns, fishing, skiing, tubing. So from the activity-wise of the water and looking down, Knysna is built around the estuary. The beaches are almost untouched. You could go to a beach. Adele and I try and do it once a week. The beach is about a 12-minute drive away from us at Brenton-on-Sea. And then if you want to go slightly further, about a 20-minute drive is Buffalo Bay. It's a 5-kilometer, 6-kilometer bay. And often we would go at 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and we would walk around the bay, and it would be only our footprints on the sand. there's not many places you can do that. You certainly can't do that in Plettenberg Bay.
But if you want to go and lie on a beach and swim, the Buffalo Bay is the beach that we would go to do, actually lie, let your kids play in the waves, that kind of thing. Brenton is wilder and more beautiful. And you can walk from Brenton to Buffalo Bay or from Buffalo Bay to Brenton, whichever way you want to walk it. It's about 4.5 km. But Buffalo Bay is lovely if you want to go and lie on the beach, tan, play in the waves, boogie board.
Yeah.
And then you can go to Brenton if you want to do the walk, look at the beautiful sea. If you've got younger children, you can go to Leisure Island. There you go on into the lagoon area, so there's no waves. So if you've got smaller kids, they're perfectly safe. You can lie on the sand, you can tan, and you can watch your children play with their buckling spades, swim in the water. So we've got 3 different options depending on what you want to do at the beach.
Can I come in quickly just while and on that point? Can you explain Leisure Isles Beach and where it is in conjunction with Kanonkop, because that's like right on your doorstep, right?
So Leisure Isle, well, we think everything is on our doorstep in Knysna. Nothing is far away. Everything is 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes maximum away from us. So Leisure Island, there's two islands on the estuary. One is Knysna Island, where our villa is situated. It's more built up, lots of restaurants, boutique shops, and everything on Knysna Island. Then closer to the heads, the main entrance to the Indian Ocean is Leisure Island, and that is a sandbank which goes right away around the island, and that's where it's going to take you 15 minutes to get there. And again, fantastic, easy place to tan, let your kids play, super safe. So those are those are 3 major options.
And the second thing I wanted to ask, sorry, Mark, we're losing you guys there. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, so the second thing I wanted to ask was, or just so that you can inform everyone, the safety aspect of Buffalo Bay. You said it's a beach where you can lie, swim, boogie board, lifeguards, that sort of thing. Just because, I mean, the people are sending people to Plet. You're 100% right, Adele, mainly to lie on the beach for a day or 2. So I just need to make sure that, the beaches that you've got in your proximity have the safety aspect and that sort of thing.
So Buffalo Bay, 100% safe. It's, we have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, and that's the beach that we've been taking them to their whole lives. Lifeguard on duty. You can. There's always a guy doing surfing lessons there. You can hire a boogie board. So it really is a fantastic option. And it's got a small restaurant. But it hasn't got the crazy crowds of Plettenberg Bay. I don't feel our property, the type of people that you're going to be sending to Kanonkop House, opulent people that are looking for the finer things in life, necessarily want to be in amongst the crowd of people on a beach in Plettenberg Bay. Absolutely, Plettenberg Bay has its place, and it has its appeal for a different type of traveler to what I think you should be maybe considering to send to us.
Perfect. Thanks very much. Andrew? Yeah, thank you.
I also just want to come in there. I've got 2 more questions that have come through. So I have Robin. I'm going to just read it to you how it is here, because I'm not too sure if I'm going to get the wording right. She says, "Morning, please chat about the golf course bookings and reciprocity and also the catamaran. Is this still a sideline business for Mark?" In brackets, she says, "Was it ever, or just an option that they promote?"
Rogan, can you just repeat that quickly, please?
Sure. So Robin says, "Morning, please chat about golf course bookings and reciprocity and also the catamaran. Is this still a sideline business for Mark?" And she says in brackets, "Was it ever, or just an option that they promote?"
Okay, so golf courses, we have membership at Pazula, which you can see on that screen. We have some membership at Samola. So from the golf perspective, we are absolutely in line with helping you with regards to anything to do with golf in the garden routes. Even if they're not just playing at those courses, we'll help with all of the golf course itineraries in Knysna, Plettenberg Bay, Mossel Bay, George. We can help with all of those. There's only one course in the garden route that we are not allowed to book, and that's the Fancourt Links course. From a perspective of the catamaran, we have it's never been a business of ours, but it's always been a case that we have a brilliant relationship with all of our activity partners. So we will find out and talk to our guests in the morning. We usually have a cup of coffee. We try and have we have a policy. We try and have either a glass of wine in the evening or a cup of coffee in the morning with every single one of our guests. Try to find out exactly what they want, and then book a activity or whatever it might be according to what they want. So we do have great relationships with a lot of these service providers and activity partners, but it's not saying that it's a business of ours. It's a case of finding the correct link between guest and activity. Did that answer, Rogan?
Yep, that's hundreds. Got one more question that came through. So we have Daphne. She's just wondering, how many days would you recommend for a stay in Knysna?
Well, during COVID, you can stay a month and a half. There's lots of availability. So, you know, we understand itineraries are getting shorter. People are under pressure at work. They might not have had as much time as they had sort of 10, 15 years ago. We always like to say that a 3-night booking gives you 2 full days in Knysna to do two really full days of exploring the area. We are not a 1-night destination. We're not a stopover. You know, guests, when they stop for 1 night and they leave the next day, they are grumpy, they're unhappy, they often are saddened by the fact that that a tour operator, travel agent has only stopped them in Knysna for 1 night. You know, so I would encourage you to a minimum of 2 nights, and you know, 3 nights. You know, we obviously would like you to send them for a maximum time, but nothing less than 2 nights. 3 nights with respect to the rest of the country, and then trying to see more of the country would be ideal. 3 nights.
Can I come in here with just my input on both those questions? So let's start with the one that Mark's just been talking about. Having done a lot of reading and introspection and extrospection and seeing what the world possibly will look like post-COVID, there's a lot of talk about itineraries becoming longer again, actually, given the fact that there'll be fewer scheduled flights. I think 1, 2 is people are going to say, well, if we're going to take a risk and go through airports and do what we're needing to do and get to Africa, we may as well make a go of it. So you might find post-COVID that actually itineraries, thank goodness, sort of start steering away from 12 days in Southern Africa and maybe grow towards 15, 16, 18 and 20 days again, which would be fantastic. But the other thing that's going to come up or is perceived or projected to come up is gone are the days where, a 14-night itinerary might include Cape Town, Hermanus, Knysna or Plet, maybe Winelands on the way to Hermanus, and then a safari. So 6 stops in 14 days. What you're going to find possibly is Cape Town, 1 stop in the garden route, if the itinerary is a Cape Town garden route and safari itinerary, and then a longer stay at a safari lodge as well. So longer stay Cape Town, longer stay 1 stop garden route, and then longer stay at a safari lodge. So that bodes well, and Knysna is perfectly positioned for that because of the fact that you're never going to be bored. It's not just offering the beach, the what do you call fly and flop. It's offering so much more. So you can't just lie on the beach for 5 days and eat at the same restaurants for 5 days. And Knysna offers a massive diversity of culture, food, golfing, everything that Mark has touched on, water-based activities from canoeing to skiing on the estuary to fishing to deep sea fishing to catamaran sailing to the beaches to, you know, the finer things in life as well. So I think Knysna is gonna win out. I'm hoping it will, as far as the garden route stop is concerned. So that's my take on that. But yes, conventionally, if we rewind to pre-COVID, 100%. Probably, I wouldn't do it for less than 2 nights, and certainly 3 nights is probably a better length of stay. Then, as far as the catamaran and maybe business is Mark's business, no, but certainly Mark and Adele both have preferred activity partners in Knysna, and there's the reason for that is nothing other than knowing who does things at the same standard that Kanonkop runs at, which is exceptionally high standards of personal service. Not to say that the others aren't good. I'm sure there are, and there's various options that they could always use for the same activity, but they certainly will have their preferred, and trying to marry the guest with the right activity provider, highest standards of personal service and experience. So that's and on the golf as well. It's never been about a business. Mark making money off his golf, but he knows 100%, that it's an absolute pain in the ass for you guys to try and have to deal with Samola or Pezula, book tee off times. The commissions offered are terrible. Often, he's got corporate membership at most of these golfing estates, so that he gets a better price than if you went directly anyway. And it's about, once again, just making sure that when the guests are there, that it's taken care of, not leaving it to, someone at the reception desk at Pezula or Samola who possibly has forgotten to book the tee off time or possibly hasn't organized the golf cart. Because all that's going to do is it's going to come back and bite Kanonkop in the bum with unhappy guests, and then you as the tour operator. So it's about making sure that there's a continuity of service offering, and you will often get better rates than what you'd be able to get directly. So that answers the question on the golf as well. Mark, I think final statements, and then we're going to end off this webinar. Mark and Adele.
So I just want to come on that when you said, going up the garden route, and it's quite important to note that George Airport is only 55 kilometers away from us, and that's linking you to nearly every airport in the country. It's got a direct flight to most places. So it can also save traveling time and save a day in itinerary. So don't forget that there is a fantastic airport only 45 minutes away, door to door, that can link you to the rest of the country as well. We can also offer transfers, picking guests up, driving them through, and hosting, and even doing the full hosting on the transfers throughout the whole stay. So really, what we want you to try and remember out of this whole hour that we've had together is that we want you to feel that we are your preferred friend in Knysna, that we can help with anything that you need. We have consultants that phone us and say, Mark, I'm really sorry these guests are not staying with you, but can you even help recommend something on something? And of course we can. We want you to think of us that we are your one-stop shop, and pick up the phone and phone us. And if we can't do the budget or whatever it is, you must have the way that you can actually speak to us, and that's who we are. We are there to create a partnership with you for many, many, many years to come. And thanks again for your support. We've had some fantastic support and some fantastic emails in the last couple of months. Over the years, and we've built some beautiful relationships with you. And thanks to all of you guys that have helped create our business and help create who we are, essentially. And we look forward to coming out of all of this together and becoming stronger and better at what we actually do. I don't know if Andrew has anything last minute, or Adele has anything last minute.
No, Dali, is there anything you want to say, or should we wrap this up?
I think you can wrap it up.
Okay, guys, listen, thank you very much. We are 2 minutes ahead of schedule. We're almost at 11 o'clock. So thank you very much for your valuable time today. Thanks for tuning in. yeah, you're welcome to pose. I will, in that mail, I'm gonna put Mark and Adele's details there. You're welcome to, converse with them via email or over the phone. Any further questions you may have from my side. Thanks for the continuous support for Kanonkop and for Knysna. And let's keep going, guys. It certainly is an absolute paradise in South Africa, and it deserves more recognition than it gets. Rogan, thanks for your help today. And lastly, thank you, as I said, once again, to all of you for tuning in. And we look forward to next week's webinar, which will be with Tanya Riff from Oliver's. So thanks very much, guys. And until next week, bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.